Hi guys, more of an update than a part 2, but we'll call it part 2 to keep things simple. Just wanted to show you how I'm getting on. I've spent an hour or so grinding and sanding. You can see it's coming up quite nice, but if you look really close, which you can't really see in this video, there is still quite a lot of deep grinding marks. So this side I've started with the finer grit, trying to take some of those marks out. You see here, although it's shinier, it's actually worse. So we're going to spend some time doing this side, or doing the sides, with some finer grit. Anyway, it's starting to come on. I think that would be quite nice. Also, when I was out yesterday, I picked up a few other bits and pieces. This for the bolster, bit of brass, 1/4 inch thick by about 2 inches wide, I suppose, and I think a couple of slices off of that, off the end there. I'll make a nice bolster. Not sure if I'll use one or perhaps maybe even stack it with two, maybe a bit of copper in between. Also, while I was out, got myself some new files, some genuine steel chainsaw files, and I was really amazed how cheap they were, with the files and a handle for just over £5. I was really absolutely amazed. So that will come in handy for a bit of file work, which I want to do. Now I picked up this antler from home, had it a few years, the dog picked it up years ago, and I thought I might use this end for the handle. It fits quite nicely in your hand, although it's got a bit of a bend in it, so it's a bit too bent there, so I might have to, if I did use it, shorten the tang down so that it only fits in the first bit before the bend. It's a bit difficult to envisage what it's going to look like. You can't really sort of see without cutting it down. I might have to cut it down and then look, but I think it's actually going to be too big. Although, I don't know, if I cut it down sort of about there, maybe, just enough to get your hand on. I'll probably leave that on if I did use it. I quite like that. If you use it left-handed, that'd be quite a nice little sort of defensive bit. But I'm gonna, if I did use this bit, I'll leave it on to start with, and then if I don't like it, I can always take it off. So that's that bit. I've also got this other bit which I've had kicking around, which is the same part as the other one, but it's already had the nibble taken off. I think I made a whistle out of it. So that might be quite nice, although that might be slightly small even. But I think it's a better fit, as you can see. Again, I'd have to make the tang a little bit shorter for it to go in. I think just cut it off just behind there. That might be quite nice, but just not sure. See, the proportions look a little bit better than they would with that bigger one. Not sure, so more dilemmas. Also, as I said yesterday, because this is going to be a one-off, I'd quite like all the bells and whistles, and I'd quite like to put some sort of embellishment in the end here, polish that up and then grind something in it. I got the inspiration from a friend of mine in America, Short Fuse Leatherneck. Some of you may know him. He does some fantastic work. His trench art on shell casings and things like that is phenomenal. And he'd make something like this into an eagle's head. His canteens, oh, absolutely brilliant. But anyway, I don't know if I'm clever enough to do that, but check out his channel because it's really worth looking at. That's something I might try and do. So I've got a few things to think about. I might go and try and get on with a bit of firework just as some practice between now and the next one. But before then, let's have a bit more on the blade. Right, got it set up in the vise here, and I'm just using some wet and dry on a soft block. It's sort of a hard sponge. I'm not using a wooden block because I don't think it would make enough contact, because I don't think the blade is that level. I think this hard sponge is a much better idea. And I think I'm going to be here for quite a few hours. You can see it's working, so the water's turning black. So we're going to be spending quite a bit of time with this. I know it's laborious, but it is worth it. And that's only been a few minutes, if that. Let's have a quick look, just see what it's doing. That's the grade I'm using of wet and dry. I think is about 600 at the moment on this one. Obviously I shall progress down a bit, get it finer, get it out of the vise. See that? You can't really see. It doesn't look too bad, that's coming. But there's still a few, you can't quite see them, but down the bottom here, still quite a few deep file marks or sanding marks. So yeah, another couple of hours I think, maybe. A bit more. So anyway, I'm going to do a bit more on this side. Swap sides. Carry on with the 600 for now. Anyway, this is going to get a bit boring for you to watch, so I'm going to carry on with this for a while and I'll come back and show you the result. Right, I brought this outside because it looks so much nicer out here in the day, proper daylight. Now that is starting to look like a pucker knife. There's still some very, very faint marks, but that's really starting to look good. You can just see the file teeth still, but there's a few niggles along the bottom there, which I'm going to have to get out. But I've suddenly realised I'm going to have to do all this again once I've heat treated it, so I'm not going to go too mad. But I just thought I'd show you because I'm really quite pleased with it so far. So I'm going to go and spend a bit more time and I'll catch you on the next one, part 3. Thanks for watching.